Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kirusho here. Now, I am aware that this is going to be uploaded a bit later, probably around 5, probably. Probably later than that, but that's because I'm going to try and make this episode longer. And well, I also did get a lot more sleep than I'm used to recently. Now, with that being said, let us begin. Whenever we last left off, Deku, he had just talked to his mother, not seeing her after a couple of years. Along with the fact that it seems like the Templars may have done something to her memory, possibly even drugged her and wiped her clean of the events they've done to her, so as to let her be more cooperative. So, this is where we are picking things up from. Deku has just re-met up with the Creed, and they are talking. Deku is quite aware that they need to go get this new artifact that has awakened, but it will be tricky. They are told that in order to access it, they must look through something. Things will be a lot trickier. So, they do want to perform a bit of a test. They will take a blood sample and analyze it, along with tracking back some of their ancestors. They've known from Sturgo that Deku, some of his ancestors were normal, but some events in his life, or his ancestors' lives, do seem a bit odd. What was that all about? So, they want to check to see if any of them may have a chance of being close to the Creed. Because this life usually tends to draw your family back into it. Ezio, Altair, Desmond, and Connor can all be examples. They've all been known to be inside the Creed and outside of the Creed. So, this is quite simply the best example you can give. Desmond didn't want to be involved until Abstergo found him and threw him back into this life. Now, with that being said, they would begin looking through everything, and while they wait, Deku's actually doing a bit of training. Going into the gym they have there and socking at a punching bag. Everyone actually training themselves. Tokuyami trying to perform and actually control Dark Shadow a bit more, getting a little bit better. While Toga, she's practicing with a bow staff and some swords, working on her dodging and her blocking, along with actually being told that she should learn to use disarmed combat, as if her weapons get too far away from her, she may need to have that advantage. While Toru, she's somewhat just trying to focus on something else. She is thinking about One for All and, well, All Might's offer. Actually asking Deku about it, while everyone else in the gym hears it. One for All is, a quirk All Might's offering her. But that's just it. If things are going to be sorted out this way, she can't let All Might wait forever. Besides, the Creed could use that power. Think about it. This could be a changing point for everyone. So, what do you think, Midoriya? Momo and everyone else is looking at Deku, thinking, that could actually be useful. Besides, you're saying you were going to be stronger than All Might if you control that power, right? So, I suggest you take it. But I can't. What would All Might do if he found out that we're going to leave UA? We're not even going to be in that that school for very long. That we tricked him. You didn't trick him, Toru. You just didn't tell him the whole truth. Deku socking into the bag harder, actually blasting it away with a shockwave. It's smashing into the wall and breaking. Deku just staring at his hand. This is happening again. Shit. As he does at least just sit down and stop moving. Over the course of this week, he's found that whenever he does train a lot, the apple does activate. Or, not the apple, the pieces in his body activate. So whenever he does do that, he at least does need to calm down. So it may be based off of his emotions. Somewhat like Tokoyami's quirk. Interesting. Now, Deku would just say one thing. As he looks up, saying that if she's really concerned about it, explain to All Might why you can't take the quirk. Then, watch him arrest you. You're a killer. You've killed more than once. If you tell him that, then not only will he kick you out of UA, you'll be thrown in prison. So, you've been lying to him for a while. You've been lying to everyone. Toru just staring at Deku. She wants to argue, but he's just telling the truth. And she kinda can't hide from that. As much as she wants to. Now, Deku, he would just tell her that that's just it. If you want to tell All Might, you can. But watch him be a Templar. That would be a lot funnier. Then again, a lot scarier. So, do what you want to do. Now, with that being said, Toru, she would somewhat just make a phone call. And call All Might, asking which day of the week would be the best to meet him. And her explaining that she can meet him back on Monday. Then again, this will be trickier. Everyone getting ready. Toru basically telling the Creed and explaining to them what's going on. All Might is offering to give her his quirk. So she will be taking on the power of the number one hero. And she will actually have to miss training for this day. The Creed, they don't understand it, but hey, if she can get the power of All Might on her side, clearly this will be a huge advantage. These kids are strange. One of them possesses Eden, one of them is going to get the number one hero's power, and the other three, they're just, well, they've shown massive improvements. The girl with the blood copy quirk, she's nearly a perfect assassin. She just needs to get out of this strange habit she has. The emotional control guy, he's calm, but how long will that last? And then you have the other girl. The rich girl with all the assets. Has she even let her father know what's going on? Well, I do believe it's time for her to make a phone call and get herself some allies in the financial section. So, Momo would be pulled aside. Deku actually watching as they're talking to her, trying to tell her that she needs to call her dad or whoever is at her house and let them know what's going on. They think that she's been on a field trip, running around, doing whatever she wants, like a rich girl. Exactly what's going on with this? Deku actually stating something. What would you expect a rich girl to do? Besides, she's a teenager. It can easily be looked over with enough money. Momo actually getting annoyed, saying that she's not like that. Well, just say that you wanted to take a bit of an adventure. You wanted to find yourself or something. That's usually what rich people do, right? Momo getting even a little bit more annoyed, saying that some people do, but not her. Deku somewhat laughing, saying that it doesn't matter. She's only supposed to tell them what they want to hear. Otherwise, they're going to be worried sick, wondering why you haven't contacted them in over 2 weeks, Momo. 2 weeks. What are you supposed to tell them? Yeah, hey, sorry I haven't been getting in contact. I've just been with an order of ancient assassins trying to piece together alien technology. So advanced, it could possibly tear apart the world. Momo just staring at Deku. He makes a point. She would walk away annoyed. Now, this is where Toga and Tokoyami are the only ones left. Tokoyami asking Deku if he's okay. He's a bit more aggressive. I'll be fine. Then again, I saw my mother. So, you can understand my frustration. Last time I saw her, she cut out her own eyes. Tokoyami actually a bit surprised. Okay, he thought Abstergo did something about that, but that was her. I see why you're confused and frustrated now. I'm not confused about anything. I'm just pissed off. Well, that is understandable. Would you like to spar with me? You really think that's a good idea with me having Eden? Well, I never said you had to win. Tokoyami actually being a bit, well, lighthearted about this. Deku looking at him, knowing that he's just talking shit. So, let's go to the surface and spar. The two walking out. Toga, she's just standing there. She was practicing moving around a blade and, well, at least getting focus with it. But she wants to see this, along with a lot of assassins watching these two go to the surface, and beginning to turn on the cameras. These two have only sparred once. Last time, they took out a tree. So, this will be good. Now, they would leave. Now, they would get back to the surface and actually try and figure things out. So, this should be a lot better and less destructive than down there. Deku actually getting ready and wanting to see what will happen. This is whenever these two would get ready and face off. Deku charging forwards, throwing out his hand and trying to send out a blast. Dark Shadow blocking it and getting ready. Flying towards Deku and actually trying to punch at him and hit him. Deku jumping upwards into the air and casting a bit of a, well, illusion. Tokoyami goes to aim upwards. Deku flew higher than he thought, as Dark Shadow attacks and hits Deku, going straight through his gut, Tokoyami being in shock. As Deku disappears, Tokoyami just looking around as he looks directly in front of him, Deku socking him across the face, and getting ready. A lot of people are actually surprised. What did he just do? As Deku, he would be on the offensive, and actually try pointing out his finger. Will this work? As his finger just courses with electricity. But it doesn't blast. Oh well. Deku throwing at his palm, and blasting the electricity that way. Tokoyami dodging and actually going behind trees. As Dark Shadow would grab onto one, and try pulling it out of the ground. Tokoyami actually assisting him. They're able to rip this tree out of the ground and actually run forwards with it, tossing it directly at Deku. Deku bringing up both his hands this time and actually blasting the tree full of power, burning it. Tokoyami running forwards as he slides underneath the tree, Dark Shadow doing the same. And Dark Shadow going upwards while he stays low. Deku being ready. He brings his hands up to block Tokoyami's punch. Dark Shadows, however, lands across his face, as Deku sends his leg upwards into Tokoyami's gut, and punching directly at Dark Shadow. These two getting in a bit of a struggle. Deku, he is being overpowered by Dark Shadow, basically being held to the ground, as Deku courses with power, and lets out a shockwave, sending the two flying. Quite a lot of people are surprised, along with the elders. That boy's been getting more and more control. Is Juno allowing him or teaching him? This is not well. Okay. This is odd. Now, with that being said, Deku would look around for Tokoyami. Tokoyami is up in a tree. Dark Shadow, he grabbed it and allowed them to stay there. As Deku is just looking upwards, blasting it whatever he can up into the air. Tokoyami's running around and trying to think of a strategy. It is nighttime, so he's at his strongest. So, he has an idea. Telling Dark Shadow to cover him in armor. Dark Shadow actually doing so. Him actually being a bit surprised. Dark Shadow will be easier to use this way. So, let's do this. As he leaps forwards, with both his and Dark Shadow's strength, directly at Deku. He gets ready, trying to throw a punch upwards and slash at Deku, actually cutting him across the face as Deku moves backwards and sends his leg flying towards him, kicking him in the gut. That did not work. He actually just pushed off of him, so he has it. If you don't want to play fair, then fine. Deku snapping his fingers, and turning on his quirk as his eyes course with power. He was holding back, but he can try and get more serious, as the coating around him begins to change, being more golden and sending out more power. Deku just stating that this will be perfect. More Dekus appearing all around him, Tokoyami being in shock. Quite a lot of people in the Crete are watching this. What is going on? That's crazy. So, this guy's controlling it? Or no, wait. As Deku hears Juno's voice, asking him if he likes what she's doing. This is hard to teach a human, but you've been improving. So, what should I show you tonight? Your dreams are easy for me to teach you. Consciously, however, your brain struggles and fights back. So, let's continue. Deku just looking at her and ignoring her. Her staring back at him. She gets it. He's serious right now. But he will have to talk later. All these copies of Deku rushing forwards. Them all holding out their hands as they blast Tokoyami in different directions. He's trying to dodge. He doesn't know which one of these are real. He doesn't know which one are fake, but they all hurt. As the real Deku would walk forwards and grab onto his hands, somewhat not being able to overpower him but stay somewhat on par, blasting him with like more power until Tokoyami is not covered in dark shadow. To which point Deku would bend his elbows and directly kick him in the gut, sending him to the ground. That was hard, but that was at least good and fun. So, thanks for sparring, Tokoyami. Are you good? Yeah, I'll be fine. So, you feel better? A bit. So, was that your plan? Letting me therapeutically beat the shit out of you? Well, not really. But I at least learned something new. The Dark Shadow thing? No, Dark Shroud. Really? That's the best you can come up with, man? Hey, I don't question you, Eden. Oh, shut up. Now, this is whenever a couple days would pass. Toru, she's meeting up with All Might today, and well, yeah, Momo has already called people that she knows, trying to at least get them to calm down, explaining what's going on along with saying that she actually did hire a personal bodyguard. Yeah, they're not too sure keen about that, but Deku will at least pose as the personal bodyguard, so as to, well, get them to calm down. Basically, Deku and her have to leave. Along with that, they can drop Toru off somewhere, as he also does take Tokoyami and Togo with him. These five need to go back to that town anyway, or at least go back into the city. Deku wants to see his mom again. Apparently, the Creed have her set up in a hideout, or at least Mummy's hideout. They've gotten her transferred there first. They had to take her to him after Deku's little incident seeing her. So they had to speed up the process before things got a bit more suspicious to Abstergo. They think that she's currently somewhere else, but in all actuality, she's not there at all. It's another person they have posted as Zinko. So, while that person maintains their cover, she will be here until they need that person in cover to break it and piss off Abstergo. So, let's continue. Deku, he would drop Toru off nearby a beach. Not really sure why, as he would drop Tokoyami off nearby his house. He does tell his mom that he's going to hang out with friends, and well, she doesn't really seem to care. She's just happy that he's getting out. And, well, at least not doing anything bad. Anyways, with that, Deku would also go back to Mummy's hideout and see his mom once again. He's really happy to see her, along with her actually being happy to hear him and talk to him more. Deku explaining everything he can, along with saying that Abstergo actually somewhat may have wiped your memories, or at least drugged you with something. Whatever they did, they've taken quite a lot of time away from you. Her just saying time away from us. After your father died, things got a bit harder. And she actually was talking with them already. She heard about trials and tests they had, but apparently they were a bit more keen on seeing what my core can actually do, without the government knowing. So, you were testing illegal tech? Yes. Apparently, that's just it. This whole thing is my fault. I'm so sorry, you two. Don't be. It's fine. It's not your fault, Mom. They wanted me to. I'm like both of you. Dad and you. Who knows what they would have done to me? But, hey, Dad had friends in the right places. What can I say? Now, Inko would actually tear up, hugging Deku and saying that after this is all over, they will try and rebuild their family. And keep it together this time. Deku actually hugging her back, saying that that sounds nice. It won't be easy though, you know, right? Nothing ever is. Alright, well, Mummy, can you take care of her, please? I can. I can help look after her, along with that Mitsuki woman. She knows about this already, correct? Yeah, good. She is looking after the, well, actual Inko, and she does at least go to a different place. I do move her to a different safe house during parts of the day, as to let her see that, her friend. Can't we just let her know about this? Inko speaking up. Mommy saying that they could, but this life, it is dangerous. If they know that she's doing this type of stuff, then, well, they would kill her, and possibly even, what, her husband, her son, everyone she knows. Okay, I understand. As they would leave, Deku driving over to Momo's house. Her bodyguards and her maids and quite a lot of other people being surprised to see her, along with her father actually being there. He wants to file a missing persons report, but Momo would regularly call in and check up, so he does at least know that she was okay, along with him seeing Deku. He watches Deku get out of the car, dressed up in this style of outfit. The jacket he's wearing doesn't have spikes on it, however, along with the fact that he doesn't have his mask or this wristband. But he does have a scar up across part of his arm, along with bandages wrapped around it. He decides to keep this look to at least, well, hide the thing around his left arm, since it's clear that Aizawa publicly said that he did that scar to the architect. So he does at least keep that arm wrapped up. On his right arm looks like he got shot by something. So, he would meet Mr. Yaoyorozu, along with parts of his bodyguards. Them basically telling Deku to move and he'll get shot. Deku just keeping his hands up, saying that he's the man she hired. So, I should be saying that to you. As Mr. Yaoyorozu gets mad and starts speaking with Momo, asking her why she did what she's doing, and if this man can really protect her. He doesn't believe that. He is just one guy. As she turns to Deku, saying to, well, protect her. Show my dad what you can do. Deku just understanding. Doing one simple thing. He brings his hands down and puts it into his pocket. Everyone just looking at him. The guards somewhat beginning to laugh. What's this guy gonna do next? Deku just looking up at them, telling them to pull the triggers. Them a bit hesitant. If this guy's serious, then okay. Them all doing so. As Deku, he just walks forward. As they pull the triggers, all their guns would explode. Mr. Yaoyorozu being surprised. Was that his quirk? Making things explode? That can't be it, right? Now, with that, the bodyguards would all begin to run at Deku. Deku not really saying a word. One of them trying to punch into Deku, but he would just move backwards, taking a step back more and more and more. Them all being confused, as Deku would finally stop in the middle of the field, a couple feet away from them, letting out a shockwave, sending all these guards flying across the property. And they would all be sent, well, different directions, and hurt quite a bit. Deku walking back over to Mr. Yaoyorozu, asking if that was quite simply enough. Him being in complete shock. Okay, so he is hired. Clearly. Momo just saying that this is why she hired him. That was only one of his powers. One? Yes, actually it was. Deku just holding out his left hand, blasting a hole in the wall right next to them. saying that he has more, but as someone would tap Mr. Yaoyorozu on his shoulder, him turning around to see Deku, actually moving forwards, as Deku is still behind, well, on both sides of him, looking back and forth as that one disappears. What the hell are you? Well, I could answer that question, but that would just raise more questions. Okay. Anyways, I do believe that you'll be fine to look after my daughter. She's going on a bit of a reckless path right now. What happened to UA? I thought you were gonna go. I changed my mind, Dad. You can't just do that on a whim. Honey, your education is important. Dad, I'm not gonna argue with you. Well, if you won't listen to me, then we're gonna have a problem. The two going back and forth. Until Deku, he would just stop them, saying that they need to leave. This place is becoming a bit more hostile. Mama just saying that he's right, walking away. Mr. Yaoyorozu still a bit concerned. Mama was a bit more rebellious. Why? Has he not been a good father? No, she's acting differently. This is getting annoying. Deku just leaving, and starting a bit of a, well, round trip back. Picking up Tokuyami a block away from his house so his parents don't see the car, along with actually going to find Toru, who has already eaten All Might's hair, and gotten one for all, along with him explaining how the quirk will work. So, while they're leaving, they would be heading towards a private airstrip, and getting on a plane, heading over to the other side of Japan, where the Apple is located. Getting things ready with a rental car and actually other things they will need. The rental car, it is going to be quite a big Humvee and off-road vehicle. And Deku does have his nifty bag of guns, putting them in the back seat and heading to a store, getting rope climbing supplies and climbing gear, whatever they will need for this trip, along with actually packing a bit of first aid, because they're not sure what they will encounter. You need to be ready for everything. As they will be heading towards the next apple, or the next piece of Eden. Anyways, that will be very, very difficult. So, what they do now is they would call the assassins, informing them that they have just landed back into the city. Deku, he does at least feel a bit tired. Sleeping on the plane and training with Juno, yeah, that kinda does it to you. Even when you sleep, he cannot catch a break. So, he'll at least take a nap on the way there, as they head out. This is whenever an hour or two would pass by. The two have been driving and actually getting their gear prepped, heading off-road to a certain location where they will pick up a boat. The assassins, they have at least provided them that, and they would hop onto it, getting all the gear put onto it, and actually flying further, or not flying, taking the boat out to the island, the only way to get out there. So, whenever they do arrive, they do find that it's a bit of a tourist attraction. People who scuba dive, go camping, or just simply want to explore what's left of nature, they would come out to these places. So it's a bit of a tourist trap, as you can call it. Now, they would continue onwards, as they pose as a group of friends, coming here to go camping, as Momo has a bit of an idea, saying that if anyone asks them, then they need to have at least a backstory, right? Yeah, that would work. Okay, so we're a group of friends coming out here to camp because, well, life's gotten a bit more harder and, well, yeah, annoying. Got it? Life sucks, got it. I can agree with that, as Tokiyama would say. Dark Shadow saying that it could work, but what about me? The same applies for you, dude. Ah, now, with that being said, they would all start walking towards their destination as they start to go through the forest and climb through the area, finding what they see as the old temple. Clearly, this will be challenging, so how are they supposed to get in there? The area is sectioned off, and they do believe that those are guards. Deku's saying that they still have their hidden blades, so they need to be stealthy about this, as Deku would make his way toward them. He does at least put a silencer on his weapon in case he needs it. So, let's go. Deku walking forwards and actually pistol whipping the guard and getting things ready. Taking out the guard, he sees the other one and immediately shoots in his direction, shooting him in the head and taking him down. Well, there goes no killing. Anyways, let's go. Everyone following Deku, beginning to make their way towards this temple. As they go through it, they would find nothing out of the ordinary. Deku not believing that, as he brings his hand up on the wall and sends a pulse. Everyone just watching as this golden beam of power just goes along the wall. Deku just following it. The place is lined with tech, and it's easy. Just this way. Deku beginning to run through, and actually follow it, as they would all make their way and follow him. Seeing where he's going, as Deku comes to a bit of a cutoff. They've been trying to rebuild the floor here, but it's not at all simple. It seems like the place keeps collapsing, so Deku, he will have to parkour his way through them, as he just takes a running start, swinging along what is left of the, well, walls, and actually climbing around. Them all just watching him, Momo creating a bit of a ladder, saying that she could have just done this, creating it and actually trying to move it across Deku. Deku grabbing it and setting it down, as they begin to crawl along it and follow him. Deku just coming toward a wall. What is this? It's empty. No, it's not. Deku bringing his hands up and blasting it with power, and actually beginning to break through the wall, asking Momo for a bit of a hand here, asking what she needs to do. Them creating pickaxes, and actually beginning to break through it. Eventually, Tokoyami, he would get Darkseid to start working too. He's able to pick up and move things that they need that are heavy. Getting them out of the way, they would eventually find a new pathway. This is different and unsectioned. Is this the hidden parts? As they walk down, finding the Eden Tech. This place, it's so advanced, it's so weird. What is this? A fallout shelter? That can't be right. If it was a fallout shelter, then it would be something different, right? Place is too dark. It doesn't even have supplies. Well, I mean, you're right, but we're not sure what this place is. It could be somewhere different. Well, then, do you mind solving where we are, Mr. Eden? Someone's saying that. Deku a bit annoyed, saying that he's got it, lighting his hand with electricity, and beginning to wave it through the darkness. Momo doing something easier, creating a flashlight, and walking through. Deku a bit annoyed, but hey, that works too. Now, this is whenever they would see everything, and begin to get the area a bit more lit up. Seeing as they will have to deal with what seems to be basic puzzles to get through it. The courses that they have to go through will be harder to deal with. And, well, that's just it. Can they get through them, or what do they do? This is going to be harder to do, and more challenging. But they do at least need to call the Creed. Deku picking up his phone, and seeing if he can get a signal out from here. He can, but the call may be bad. So let's do it. As Deku creates the call, telling them that they're at the temple, and they've found the hidden section. So, do you mind giving me some information that will help me? Them somewhat saying that they'll text it to him. Whatever he needs. Now, that's a good point to leave off on, guys. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part. And hopefully it will be quieter later, because it is starting to get loud in my house, and I do not want to have to keep cutting the video. So, sorry about that.